This week, we want to share with you a way you can start making money right away, like today. So we've created a free course to teach you the exact strategy that we use. If inflation has really hit you hard, or if you just feel like you're struggling to make ends meet, this is for you. So 10K is a lot to make in 1 month. Darron, tell us how you got started and what led up to making that much.
Okay, there's a little bit of a story to this, but about 25 years ago when I was a new husband, no kids, newlywed, right? We were struggling to make ends meet, and I just didn't feel like I could ever get ahead. And so I found a place that I could buy stuff. It was actually all the overgoods from shipping, a place called MPS. I was finding stuff, buying it, and then selling it on eBay. And that actually led into my online business, but it really helped us get ahead because I was making really good money just buying and reselling stuff. So later on when I sold that first business, I was working for a startup, and at one point we decided the startup wasn't viable, so we shut it down. And so I didn't have any income. I had recently purchased a side-by-side, and the deal hunter that I've always been, I bought it for a really good price. And since I didn't have any income, we decided we had to sell it. I sold it and made a good profit on it. And I was excited about it. So that same day I jumped on the classifieds again, and I found another side-by-side that I went and purchased and bought it and sold it and made really good money on that. And I just continue to do that. And for the next 12 months, I averaged $7,000 to $10,000 just buying and selling things on the classifieds. Yeah. In some months, I made as much as 15 grand.
Were you surprised at all?
I was really surprised because, this was a situation where my back was against the wall. I didn't want to go job hunting. That would take a while to find a job and start making money again. I needed something right away.
How did you come up with that idea?
Well, it all came from selling that side-by-side that I had purchased. That was kind of the first thing to go, right? Your toys. Right. It wasn't a necessity. So
selling stuff.
Yeah. There. So I sold that. And when I realized how much of a deal I got in the first place, that I was able to turn around and sell it and make a good profit, that's where the light bulb came on. Cool. And I thought, hey, I can keep doing this at least until something else comes along.
Right.
And that's exactly what I did. And the thing about that was the only income that I had, and I was supporting a family. I had 4 kids, wife and 4 kids, and that was our only income. And I was able to support our family just off of buying and selling.
And it was fun for the kids because we got to test drive all of his toys.
Yeah, we did a lot of ATV riding during those years.
About how many hours a day do you think you put into up or looking for all this different stuff?
So most of them I didn't have to fix up. I just would find the deals. And so on a good day, maybe 4 or 5 hours. So I felt like it was less than a full-time job, and I was able to make that kind of money.
The same amount of money you'd make at a full-time
at a full-time job, yeah. Right? So I feel like I drive everybody I know crazy because I'm always talking about the deals that I get and how much I bought them for and sold and made money off of, because I really am just a classified ads junkie. I can't, when I have free time, you'll see me just scrolling through classified ads looking for deals.
So most people, they try to stay off Instagram or Facebook and try to limit their time. He would always say, oh, I'm on KSL too much looking for classifieds.
Right, that's what gobbles up my free time is the classifieds.
You put an Apple Watch, put a timer on.
I've not done very good with that because I make a lot of money off of it. I'm always finding deals.
So instead of watching stocks, you're watching
the classifieds.
Well, I remember as a kid, he would constantly be like, don't just go get a pizza job, flip stuff. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, because in my mind, you work how many hours to make $100, $200? I can do that one afternoon just flipping something on the classifieds. And so to me, I was always telling my kids, you're going to be way better off just searching the classifieds and buying and selling on there than spending all of your high school time at a pizza job or wherever you get a job, spending all your time doing that instead of being with your friends and doing stuff that you really want. You flip a few things on the classifieds and you make just as much money.
Well, that's exactly what happened with me. I literally went and got a job at a pizza place. I was making $7 an hour. At the end of a 5-hour shift, I had $35 to take home, and I was like, this sucks. And I remember my dad was like, Ashley, did you know that snowmobiles are actually more valuable in pieces than all in one and all put together? And I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, when someone like breaks a part on their snowmobile, they want to look for a part to just replace that instead of purchasing an entire new machine. So you can just buy a full machine that might have something wrong with it, take it apart and sell it in pieces. And I was like, I have zero experience with this, but I'll try it out. And so I found a good deal on a machine. He helped me go and pick it up. He had a trailer and a truck, and
I just coached her through it, right?
And he coached me through it, and you actually helped me out buying it, but I was able to pay him back, and I made a couple $1,000 on it, which that right there is like, holy cow.
Yeah.
Opening a new door. But I was just unscrewing stuff, taking stuff out.
How old were you?
I was 16 years old, 15 or 16. I was just barely getting into high school, and I was like, I'm never going back to that pizza job again.
So I figured, since this was of such value to me, and I drive people crazy talking about it anyway, I decided to put it into a free course. And in the course, I talk about 10 things that you can start out today buying and reselling to make money. They're all things that I have routinely looked for. I buy and sell all the time because they're things that pop up all the time. And so I'm always looking for these same items to pop up for a really good price because I know what they're worth. I know what they'll sell for. I can buy them and resell them.
Well, all of your hours of KSL searching has really helped.
Yeah. And one of the cool things about this kind of a side gig is that you learn the value of things. You learn what things are worth. And even if you don't have any money, you can still start out because the classifieds, Facebook Marketplace, they have a free section. And I'll share with you a hack actually to be able to see when things are first listed. But you can go to the free section. People all the time are listing stuff in the free section that are actually worth a decent amount of money. And so if you're watching that free section and you're one of the first ones to jump on it, you go pick it up and immediately you can turn around and resell it and make some money. Mm-hmm. The other thing that I talk about in this course is if you are handy, if you know how to fix things, then that can really skyrocket your profits because so many people sell things that have some issue and to them it's worthless, right? Because it just doesn't work. So they just dump it off. When if it's repaired, it's worth a lot more money.
Well, and if you don't know how to be handy, you can get on YouTube University and learn a couple of things, right? That's a lot of what you do.
Right. So when I was a kid, we had a lawn mowing business and people would often push their non-working lawnmowers out to the curb for the trash pickup to grab. And so I would go around and collect those. And then my dad would show me how to fix these and get them running again for our lawn mowing business. So that's how I started learning how to work on things. And so if you feel like you're not handy, I would recommend to jump in the free section, find something that is broken, that has some potential value there, go get it for free. It didn't cost you anything. Get on YouTube, get on the internet, learn how to fix it, and that will kind of get you on your way to learning how to fix things.
And learning how to price things too. There's a lot of that goes into it that I didn't realize. You have to keep relisting your item and checking on, and if people offer you some amount of money, if they're lowballing you, you have to know how much.
Yeah, make a counter offer. Yeah, the whole strategy I share in the course.
And you get the hang of it pretty fast.
Yeah, but this is absolutely something that you can start today and find something, buy it, and immediately turn around and resell it.
Yeah. I feel like one of the most important spots to start in when you do that is, start with something that you're good at. Like
or something you already know.
Yeah, I already know. Like for me, I used to work at a bike shop. And so back when I was visiting home, like I had a bunch of neighbors, like all text me, asking me to fix up their bikes. And they would like give me all the parts for them. And so now there's like every now and then we're at thrift stores we'll go and check out like if there's any bikes laying around. And a lot of those bikes you can fix up and sell them for like $200 to $300, and you only end up dropping about $20 for them. And so it doesn't really matter kind of what specific thing you're looking for. There's some really great things like Darron talked about, but be able to have something that you have like a little bit of knowledge in, and you can definitely grow a lot more of that knowledge. It's going to be really valuable.
Yeah. Especially if you know about it, you probably have a passion for it. It's going to be a lot easier to track. You're going to be able to pay attention to detail, which is another thing that I talk about in my course, because if you don't pay attention to detail, you can really hose yourself with buying something that you've overpaid for, thinking that it's worth a lot more, and you've just wasted your time and money.
Yeah. I came crashing into this whole world of flipping stuff. Long time ago in 2023, I decided that I would go and buy a van. It's like the old van life thing is all super popular. And so I thought I'd just take a jump and buy a van and fix it up, and everything, all my dreams would come true. I wouldn't have a single problem in the world if I had this camper van that I could live in. And so I went and got this van, and I was doing all of this research. And so like YouTube University is definitely a thing. And like, especially for like the whole van life trend that was going on, there's been a lot of people that have done a lot of work, a lot more work than I have, and show you like how to build up these vans. And so I started doing all this research, like I mapped, I drawed, and I was kind of like a pretty basic like carpenter. Like I haven't really worked a lot in electricity and plumbing and stuff, but I was able to get it all up and running in this van. And the whole goal of it was, the only way I could convince my parents not to hate me for getting this van and living in it, is because you can sell them for a lot of money. And so if you do a really good job, like fixing up a van, you can, for me, like I bought the van that I found as a Ram ProMaster, and I got it for around $23,000. And there's some people with the same year of van, and they fix them up and they sell them for like around $40,000.
Yeah.
And so that was the hook. Like it was kind of like investing in a car and a house at the same time, but being able to have that, and it's still a work in progress. I haven't finished it yet. But being able to have something that you can, work on and teach yourself how to do is going to be really valuable in the long run.
Yeah. Well, and if you have that experience with being kind of in the carpentry field of work, like that's an easy breeze for you.
The only thing you have to lose is time, really.
Yeah.
So sometimes when you're like Darron and you're kind of backed up against a wall because you have a family to provide for, then like you're really going to put everything into it to try and find something, because your financial stability is going to depend on you finding these kind of stuff.
And so I think that a lot of people are in that situation now. Inflation's hit a lot of people hard. And so if you need to make money right away, this is one way to do it. Jump on. The link is in the description to the course. It's a free course. I go through, like I said, the top 10 things that I routinely buy and resell. All that's revealed in the course, and along with my strategy.
I think you'll surprise yourself, honestly. Like when I first started listing my first items on Facebook Marketplace and KSL Classifieds, I had zero hope that they'd sell. I was just kind of experimenting, and they actually did. So just try it out. If you have a little bit of money sitting aside that you can use to invest and turn into something bigger, why not use it? Why not take the opportunity?
I guess something I'd throw in, Darron, what would you say to all the people that maybe don't have a ton of room that they could store something to work on? How do you think you could still get away with,
Well, for one, you'd start with smaller items. So I have a brother that he and his kids love video games, right? And so that was his kind of niche. And he wasn't just using classifieds. He would go to yard sales. And he figured out conniving ways to get people to dig their old video games out. He was looking for certain things, right, that would identify somebody at a yard sale as having video games, or he would ask them, right? Even if they weren't listed, he would go through and call a bunch of these yard sales and ask them, hey, do you have some video games? And
we don't even have them in their yard yet. He would bring them out.
Right.
Oh, I guess we could.
Right. And he got better deals on those because they weren't ready to price them out or anything. And they would just be like, yeah, these are just kind of collecting dust, and they would just dump them off. So that would be my advice, is just to start with small things that don't take a lot of room.
And they're not very expensive either.
And in my course, I teach you how to identify things, and it's kind of the theory behind why certain things are sold for less routinely. And so once you understand that theory, then you could apply it to anything, especially your own, the things that you're interested in or passionate about. you could take that same theory and apply it to whatever and be able to find products that are smaller. Because a lot of the stuff that I flip, because I have been in, the mechanical world for a while, tend to be bigger. But you can definitely start smaller that doesn't take up as much room. And those are easier too. If you can't sell locally, then you can put it on eBay and sell it.
Yeah.
And so it kind of opens up the marketplace for where you can actually resell the stuff that you find. But the main thing I think is just that it's something you can do today to start making extra money. And I was legitimately making $7,000 to $10,000 on average. And some months I made up to $15,000 just buying and selling off of the classifieds. So it's totally possible. Ashley's had experience with it. Jake's had experience with it. I know that it's something that works. So if you've ever bought or sold something on the classifieds, we'd be interested in hearing what it was and maybe how much, ballpark, what you made off of it.
Yeah, give us your feedback. We're going to hear you.
Yeah.
If you have other ideas too, go ahead and drop them below because we're all learning together.
Yeah.
We're not here to steal all the ideas. We're here to help you guys out.
Right.
Okay, if you guys found what we shared today interesting, there is plenty more topics we have to talk about in the future. So make sure you subscribe and don't miss out on our future videos and episodes.